The drained Euphrates River has revealed something unbelievable and amazing. The Golden Mountains have appeared. These stunning mountains have caught the world's attention and caused a lot of excitement on social media. Stories that were once thought of as just made-up tales are now mixed with real life as hashtags and interesting stories take over the internet. Get ready for an amazing adventure where you'll find hidden treasures and hear mythical stories in a brand new place. The Golden Mountains are a fascinating place that explorers are drawn to. These mountains were formed from the dry remains of the Euphrates River. Explorers are excited to uncover the amazing secrets hidden there during their quest for knowledge. Narrated Abu Huraira, Allah's apostle, has said, "Soon the river Euphrates will disclose the treasure, the mountain of gold, so whoever will be present at that time should not take anything of it." The Euphrates River, once a mighty and vital water source, is now facing a grave crisis. It is experiencing an alarming rate of drying and groundwater storage loss, which is causing widespread concern among nations and having a significant impact on the lives of over 7 million people who rely on its waters. The consequences of this drying river are far-reaching and complex. The Euphrates River has been a lifeline for numerous civilizations throughout history, contributing to the development of ancient empires and supporting human settlements. Today, it continues to play a crucial role as a water resource for irrigation, agriculture, and human survival in the region. The rapid drying and groundwater storage loss of the Euphrates River has sparked tensions among nations that depend on its waters. The scarcity of water resources has the potential to exacerbate existing conflicts and create new disputes over water sharing and management. With a growing population and increasing water demand, the situation is becoming more dire. The impact on the millions of people who depend on the Euphrates River cannot be understated. Water scarcity affects their access to clean drinking water, irrigation for crops, and the sustainability of their livelihoods. Without adequate water resources, communities are forced to face the challenges of drought, limited agricultural production, and potential displacement. The origin of the Euphrates River is unknown. Eastern Turkey is home to the source of the Euphrates. The Murat River and the Karasu River are its two most significant sources. Near Mount Ararat in eastern Turkey is the source of the Murat River, also called the Eastern Euphrates. The Karasu River, often known as the Western Euphrates, originates in the province of Erzurum in Anatolia. Near the city of Elaz, these two rivers merge to form the Euphrates. The river then continues south through Syria and Iraq before it reaches the Persian Gulf. The Euphrates, at an overall length of 1,730 miles, is the longest river in Western Asia. A river with a rich history and a fascinating tale to tell, flows from its source to its final destination. Come with us as we travel back in time to learn about the beginnings and development of the Euphrates River. The Euphrates River has been used by humans for thousands of years. The 15th longest river in Asia, the Euphrates has been instrumental in the growth and development of numerous cultures in the region. It has served as a lifeline by providing water, facilitating trade, and increasing agricultural output. Mesopotamia, the land situated between the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers, had human habitation as early as 7000 BC. Mesopotamia is located in the Fertile Crescent, an area sometimes called the Cradle of Civilization, for its significance in the evolution of human culture. Mesopotamia, named after a Greek word, is the region between the Tigris and the Euphrates and is the name for the area in between the two rivers. Some of the most fertile soil on the planet can be found between these great rivers. The river was crucial to early cultures, serving as a source of food, water, and transportation. In order to harness the river's water for agricultural purposes, the Sumerians had begun building massive canals and levees along its length by the year 2000 BC. They used the river for transport, communication, and warfare using boats and ships. The Euphrates River served as a conduit for the movement of people, products, and ideas between these ancient communities and others. The Euphrates River has changed hands between multiple empires, notably the Persians, Greeks, and Romans, during the course of history. It was a major thoroughfare, facilitating the transport of civilians, cargo, and military forces. The Euphrates River is critically important to modern-day life in the area. Numerous industries depend on the Euphrates for their water supply, transportation needs, and hydroelectric power needs. The ancient Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians, among others, relied on the Euphrates River for their water needs many centuries ago. It has prophetic and religious importance and is mentioned in both the Bible and the Quran. The Euphrates River is suspected by some to conceal substantial gold reserves. Some treasure hunters have claimed to have discovered substantial amounts of gold in the riverbed, and there have been claims of small-scale gold mining operations along the river. However, there is no concrete proof that the river contains substantial amounts of gold, and so these assertions remain unproven. Despite this, the prospect of finding gold in the Euphrates River has captivated the minds of many and remains the topic of myth and conjecture. This video will continue to discuss the significance of the Euphrates River throughout history and investigate the claims and prophecies made about the presence of gold reserves in the river. Large port cities are uncommon along the Euphrates River, but a few of the cities on the river's edge play a key role as hubs for commerce and transport. Raqqa, located on the Euphrates River in northern Syria, is a major city in the region. Once held by the Islamic State of Iraq, the city of Raqqa has now been freed. Deir ez-Zor in eastern Syria is located on the banks of the Euphrates. Because it is an important river crossing, it is strategically significant. Hit is a city in Iraq that sits on the Euphrates. The Hit archaeological site is among its most well-known historical landmarks. The city of Nasiriyah in southern Iraq is located not far from the Euphrates. It's a prominent city near the Euphrates, not yet on the riverbanks themselves. Due to the difficulty of navigating the lower Euphrates, these cities are not major seaports. Basra, Iraq, and Kuwait City, Kuwait, are two of the largest port cities on the Persian Gulf. These urban centers, however, are not situated on the bank of the Euphrates. Along the Euphrates River, numerous dams have been built. The hydroelectric power, agricultural water, flood control, and storage water are all benefits provided by these dams. One of the greatest dams on the Euphrates River is the Ataturk Dam, which is located in southeastern Turkey. It was finished in 1990 and now ranks as the world's third largest dam. One of the largest dams on the Euphrates is the Topka Dam. Topka Dam, which opened in 1973, has been the target of conflicts and attacks due to its status as a political flashpoint. Western Iraq is home to the Haditha Dam, Iraq's second largest hydroelectric power generator. In 1987, it was finally finished. The old Usaya archaeological site was drowned during the construction of the Haditha Dam. A Japanese archaeological team discovered a staircase and many terracotta lion figurines in a multi-chambered room they excavated there in 1982 and 1983. It's estimated that the lion statues were created around 1700 BC. The construction of these and other smaller dams along the Euphrates has had far-reaching effects on water management, agriculture, and energy production in the river's catchment areas. Because of the dams, agricultural output, electrical production, and water regulation have all improved. Concerns about downstream water supply and its environmental impact have been expressed in response to dam construction and water management methods. Human activities contribute to pollution problems in the Euphrates River. Industrial waste, fertilizer and pesticide-laden agricultural runoff, untreated sewage, and debris from continuing geopolitical strife have all contributed to water pollution along particular stretches of the river. Infrastructure hasn't been maintained and wastewater hasn't been treated properly due to conflict and instability in the region. Local authorities and nonprofits have been working to clean up the Euphrates River and make it safer for river users. These include public education efforts, water treatment programs, and the enforcement of environmental legislation. These endeavors would not have been possible without the help of global bodies like the United Nations Environment Program. Their mission is to clean up the Euphrates River by enhancing water management practices, and the river's cleanliness and the success of these initiatives vary widely across the river's many segments and jurisdictions. There have been reports of lower water levels in particular stretches of the Euphrates River. However, the river is not completely dried out. In particular, during droughts, there have been shifts in the water levels of the Euphrates. In certain places along the Euphrates, there is worry that water supplies will be depleted. These changes may affect agriculture, ecology, and the way of life for people who rely on the river's water supply. Reduced river flow is at least partially attributable to dams and irrigation projects built along the river's path. The electricity grid, agricultural irrigation, and municipal water supply all benefited from these upstream developments. However, by disrupting the river's natural flow, dams end up reducing water availability for populations further downstream. Low Euphrates River water levels can also be attributed to climate change. The river's flow has been altered by changes in precipitation patterns, higher rates of evaporation, and higher temperatures. Water availability downstream has been affected by changes in precipitation and snowmelt in the Turkish portion of the river's headwaters. When it comes to gold, what does the Bible say about the Euphrates River? Several prophecies link the Euphrates to gold, and the river itself is mentioned several times in the Bible. In the book of Revelation, the last book of the New Testament, it contains one of the most famous prophecies. According to Revelation chapter 9, verses 13 through 21, a 200 million strong army will be unleashed from the Euphrates River in the end times. A third of humanity will be wiped out by this army, which is claimed to be led by 4 angels. The Euphrates River is also mentioned in relation to the destruction of Babylon in Revelation chapter 18, verses 11 through 19. Babylon is portrayed as a city of gold, silver, and beautiful stones, and its richness is discussed in the text. According to the passage, the loss of Babylon and her richness and treasures such as gold and valuable stones will be mourned by merchants around the world. Although the presence of gold in the Euphrates River is not explicitly predicted, the river is nonetheless linked to prosperity in these predictions. Some have taken these predictions as proof that the Euphrates River contains substantial gold resources, sparking widespread conjecture and mythology about the river's possible wealth. What does the Quran say about gold and its connection to the Euphrates River? Although the Euphrates is mentioned in the Quran, no explicit prophecy claims that the river contains gold. Located in the 18th chapter of the Quran, Surah Al-Kahf tells the tale of 2 men who find a treasure in a cave. A wealth whose keys would have burdened a body of strong men is how the treasure is described, yet neither gold nor its location are mentioned. Even though the Euphrates River is linked to prosperity and benefits in the Quran, gold isn't mentioned by name. The river's been blessed with resources that may sustain life, as mentioned in Surah Ar-Ra'd, chapter 13 of the Quran, where it's stated that Allah made rivers flow in it and placed in it mountains as sustenance for you. In conclusion, the Quran makes no explicit reference to gold being found in the Euphrates. The river is mentioned in the Quran in the context of prosperity and benefits, as it is in the Bible, but this does not prove that there are substantial gold deposits there. There have been rumors of small-scale gold mining activities in the Euphrates River, but no substantial gold resources have ever been discovered. Some of the gold used to create the great riches of the Assyrian and Babylonian empires may have come from gold mines located near the Euphrates River, as shown by historical documents. However, it's not believed that these mines are linked to the river itself. Small-scale gold mining's reportedly taken place in the contemporary age along the Euphrates, mainly in eastern Syria. Gold is typically collected in modest quantities from riverbed activities involving boat villagers using rudimentary instruments. It's important to remember that these small-scale activities don't prove the existence of substantial gold reserves in the river. Rather, the gold is probably the consequence of natural erosion of gold-bearing rocks in the area. There are also social and environmental costs associated with these types of operations, including pollution and societal strife. While there may have been some small-scale gold mining in the Euphrates River in the past, any claims that there are major gold reserves in the river should be taken with a grain of salt. And that's all for the video today, but we'll be right back with more, so please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.